tops your cup. Nothing tops your cup. Nothing tops your cup. Nothing.
Enter the Black Dragon and listen to his knowledge. This is Biker 101, and he's professor to the college. Posting up videos on YouTube, coming directly to you, showing you the ins and outs and what not to do.
Hi, I'm Black Dragon, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Black Dragon Biker TV. And as always, we are thankful to you for tuning in. And it's a beautiful day to ride around the park, just chill out. Got my buddy on the back, underneath my arm somewhere. That's a steep hill. Got my buddy on the back right there. You see him? That's Braveheart. So anyway, we always appreciate you all for tuning in. We're always very thankful. Today's video is kind of it's a part 2 of a 3-part series. A few weeks ago, I found myself at at a hotel. What was the name of it? Rats, I don't have my notes here. But when I got there, I found the Blue Knights Motorcycle Club Nation there having their annual. And the Blue Knights, for those of you who don't know, is a law enforcement motorcycle club. It was started in 1974, and they say that they are the largest law enforcement motorcycle club in the country. And I have no reason to doubt that. The last time I looked on their webpage, they said they had 19,500 plus members. So they have over 690 chapters all over the world. And one of the things I want to do is, like, I want to interview every national and international president of a motorcycle club nation in the world. I'm just always curious to know how national presidents and international presidents of other motorcycle clubs handled their business. Was it anything like the way I did it? You know, it's not often that I get to talk to folks that stood at the top of their motorcycle club, so that's always a treat for me. So today, and then the other thing is, I have a lot of law enforcement bikers out there, and I get questions all the time about joining law enforcement clubs, and I don't have any real knowledge about that. So I'm glad to be able to put someone on that can discuss some things and talk about some things, and would be someone that you could get in touch with if you felt like you wanted to talk to someone. So I had the opportunity and the privilege to interview the international president of the Blue Knights Motorcycle Club Nation, Mr. DJ Alvarez. And he was gracious enough to grant me an interview on short notice. Like, I just basically walked up to him and said, are you the leader? I'd love to interview you for my channel. And sight unseen, he didn't know me. I was the only, they didn't have any other vest there that I saw. So it's pretty much a family. They had thousands of folks at their party, but it was all them. And so I just walked up to him, Mr. Alvarez, the international president. I said, hey, I'd like to interview you. And he said, well, we're going to be here a couple days. And he sat down for the interview, or rather stood up for it. So very thankful to be able to get that interview, to bring it to you guys. And very thankful to the Blue Knights Motorcycle Club Nation they never know who's trying to interview them or approach them, or whether it's going to be positive press or negative press. But everyone that knows me knows I love biking, and I like to do things that are biking related and hang out with bikers. So I'm honored to be able to bring you guys information from all the various kinds of motorcycle clubs and motorcycle sets that I come in contact with. And I just think it's really nice to be able to sit down and talk to folks and find out a little bit about their worlds. So, without any further ado, we will bring to you my interview with DJ Alvarez, the international president of the Blue Knights Motorcycle Club Nation. And this was an impromptu thing. I walked up to him with the microphones. So, there's not a, we don't have a lot of good staging or anything. This is just really about information. So anyway, hope you guys like it. Great. Hi, this is Black Dragon, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Black Dragon Biker TV. And as always, we thank you for tuning in. And today we have with us this evening, we have with us the international president of the Blue Knights Motorcycle Club Nation, DJ Alvarez, and he's agreed to spend a few minutes with us talking, so we're going to ask him a few questions. So first of all, thanks for coming to the channel and hanging out with us.
Thank you.
Definitely welcome. So how long were you a police officer?
I worked for the Galveston Police Department for roughly about 27 years, and then I retired for about a year and a half, and then went back to work. Now I've been with the Galveston County Sheriff's Department for about 5 years.
Oh, so you just couldn't let it go, huh?
Too young.
I agree. So how long have you been in the club?
I joined the Blue Knights in 2004.
Okay. So, this club is huge. Almost 20,000 members, over 600 chapters, all over the world, international. You got people in states, you got hundreds and hundreds and thousands of members. How do you manage such a thing?
Well, it's not an easy task. I just finished my 5th year as international president, and it's just something I've grown accustomed to. Communicate with the modern technology. It allows you to basically talk to people. I can FaceTime members overseas. I've actually sat in meetings in one of the chapters in New Zealand. I always welcome their members to their annual meeting and via FaceTime. So the internet has been very helpful for me to how I run the organization. And sometimes I'll get like Facebook messages in the middle of the night because of the time differences. And rather than wait, because by the time I get up, they're asleep, I get up in the middle of the night, to answer questions from the members.
So it's a 24/7 thing for you?
It's pretty much yes.
How do you delegate authority? How do you make sure everything gets done?
Well, the executive committee, which is comprised of myself, the vice president, secretary, and treasurer, we all have our responsibilities. I'm the overall oversee the organization. Our vice president is in charge of recruitment retention. Secretary, obviously, for the records of the organization, and our treasurer manages our finances.
So what about biking? Are you guys more of a social club, or do you actually do hardcore real biking and riding? And
We are a law enforcement motorcycle club. We were formed in 1974 by seven members, our original founding members in Bangor, Maine. Obviously, we've grown to now we're in 29 countries, and we ride. Everyone rides. We had today we're at our gathering in Stone Mountain, Georgia, and the longest distance award went to a member who drove 2,800 miles to this event.
Wow. And you've got people in from all sorts of countries and all that sort of thing.
Right. This week we've got members from England, Ireland, Belgium, and Germany attending, as well as Canada.
So I get a lot of guys who call me up and send me text messages and ask me how do they get started if they want to start their own law enforcement motorcycle club. Mm-hmm. What would be your advice to officers that want to start a law enforcement motorcycle club?
Well, first, as the international president of Blue Knights, I would ask that they consider joining our club. see if it's something they want to do. But if not, there are a lot of law enforcement motorcycle clubs throughout the United States they can think about joining.
So we hear this a lot, especially on our side. It's there are so many motorcycle clubs out there. It's probably better to go try to find one to join than reinvent the wheel.
Right.
So I was taken. Over the past week or so that I've been here interviewing some of your guys, I have been noticing. You always hear a lot of negative things about police officers, but I was just really taken aback at some of the heroic things that I've heard some of these guys talk about, especially among themselves. And I was just amazed to see some of the war zones in America these guys have been in. For instance, I heard one of your officers talking about, or one of your members talking about, he had been in the Twin Towers, he had been at the Oklahoma City Federal Building, and he started naming off other just war zones he'd been in America. So, could you speak to that? Are there a lot of people that have been through that sort of thing in your club?
Well, because our organization is law enforcement, we've got several members that have been involved in high-profile incidents or events such as the 9/11 and the Twin Towers. Most recently, one of my members of my chapter is the chief of police of the Santa Fe Independent School District in Texas, and that's where they had the shooting in May where 10 people were killed. But that's just, there are several. I mean, a lot of our guys have seen horrific things and done heroic things as well.
So, you've had past female presidents that have run the organization. You have a female vice president. What's it like having women in the club?
Well, women are involved. I mean, we work with women on a day-to-day basis. And like with me, I've been very fortunate. My vice president, who is a retired state trooper from Pennsylvania, she's awesome, and she does a great job for the organization, and she works well being my right-hand man, no pun.
So when are you going to give this up? How long are you going to run an international motorcycle club 24 hours a day, 7 days a week?
Well, I'm just started, I'm just hit my 5th year. We run 2-year terms. This is my 3rd term, which ends next summer at our convention, and I'm going to take a break.
Well, listen, I always wish the best for all my biker friends. Keep your 2 wheels down, your rubber side down, and ride well. Thank you for taking the time with me. I know you're very busy, and I certainly appreciate you making the time to speak with us on Bike Dragon Biker TV.
Thank you.
And my law enforcement guys are going to love you because they always ask me stuff about this, and I just didn't have the words to tell them. So,
well, if you're interested, our website for the Blue Knights is www.blueknights.org. And if you want to email me, my email address is simple. It's dj@blueknights.org. If you have a question, reach out to me. If I can answer it, I'll be glad to.
Thanks again. DJ Alvarez, correct?
Right.
International president of the Blue Knights Motorcycle Club Nation since 1974 and still strong. Yep. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
All right.
All right.
stops your cut. Nothing stops your cut. Nothing stops your cut. Nothing.
Into the Black Dragon and listen to his knowledge. This is Biker 101, and he's professor to the college. Posting up videos on YouTube, coming directly to you, showing you the ins and outs and what not to do. He's truly a breed apart. Subscribe to his channel. Some try their best, but they don't match his candle. Don't believe me, it's cool. Tune in and hear him on truth. He's straight schooling you. His vids are the proof. He's filled with desire. He's filled with respect. He's filled with a fire. He always comes correct. Was 5 years to prospect. He didn't care about his label, but now he runs the Black Sabbath. Set in stone is his fable.
Black Sabbath forever, forever Black Sabbath. Thanks for tuning in and get skinny.